also, right, why I want you to hear me and not see me as somebody delusional is because a lot of my past time was really reading a lot of healing energy things to do with my life, and I was such a vibrant girl. My stomach needs healing. Like, this is a huge problem for me. It's been disemboweled. Um, I think I'm a victim of this gambling network that's been doing a lot of dares to be famous on some sort of OnlyFans. See, the reason I talk out is not because I want attention, but I'm not trying to be attention like to Hollywood and all this kind of stuff. I actually need help because I can't see the full picture. I'm trying to speak out like there's a lot of crime that happened to me. So first I got kind of like cancelled. Well, that's fine, right? And at my church at that time, I was going to church in Hamilton, and they had all these flyers talking about mass mobbing when you're being cancelled. So what they do is they start doing death threats online. I think for me, they sort of turned me into a racist and took everything I said out of context. And I've been giving silver and Lyme disease again, and this ruins your gut lining, and this also affects your mood. I'm very sick, and I'm also worried about this cancer problem. If it was just blood cancer, that's fine, because most people can get through that. But for me, it's a lot of ailments all at once, and I just want to say I do believe it is a homicide, and I'll tell you why. Because my life, I've had an obsession over food, but I never was really skinny. The only way I could master being skinny with my thyroid issue was to be completely vegetarian. I know a lot of food, like a lot of food. I've worked a lot, and I've never really been, I guess I never saw myself as a professional in it because it was all hands on. I never went to school, but I'm pretty actually quite good at it. Like, I'm really good at recipes, and the things that I've learnt all stay inside my brain. And so I started writing a lot of things to do with healing food plans to help people through their ailments, just in aged care. Not like a real proper job. It was just due to being my relationships with the people. So anyone else working in aged care might want to come into the country and get quick money. But for me, I actually enjoyed talking to the people. So it wasn't a job for me. It was more, I found it quite entertaining to sit there and talk to the people. And it also gave me enough leisure time in my life after looking after them to have enough time to look after me and my body. Well, I'm completely zapped. So my stomach is completely ruined. They've ruined my vagina. They've injected it and my backside with all these kind of like sort of dermatology problems, like leeching. I think it happened in Waiwera Beach because I woke up feeling like I had a mouth full of like I was totally dehydrated, but it wasn't just like dry. It was like I'd been inhaling some sort of like fungus, and my whole tent had gone black. I don't know. Like, I just don't believe. I believe it's foul play because I don't believe staying in Waiwera 2 weeks during a couple of days of rain would make a tent go black. Because I've been camping a lot. I think even one stage last time when I was a refugee and I went camping, I'd camped a lot, and there was nothing mouldy in my tent. I think I was in colder areas. I think I was down south. This was all in the North Island, and it's not been cold here at all. It's not been that cold at all, but I think what happened is it started to get really raining all the time, and I was getting wet all the time. That's why I wanted to move into a house. And since whatever they've done to me has really ruined me, like really ruined me, like as I started to look very healthy, I started to get colour in my face. As what happened the last time is it gave me so much illness, I became white. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason, even though I'm Irish, I still tanned up quite nicely. And it's really wiped me out. It's wiped out all the colour in me. It's like they really want me dead. Like, because it's a repeat thing that's going on. So my stomach's completely wiped out again and stuck. And I'm very worried. I need an X-ray, and I'm really worried that they've put drugs in me because they've got all my identity. So I don't really know how all that works, but I do know, this Tyler Hall of Fame with my name all over it is definitely to do with identity theft, because you can't see a real person if you're reading all these prejudice memes. Plus, they cancelled me, like everything I said was a rant, and I think they just put a whole lot of stuff on the. I think they made up a whole lot of things that I was saying, and it wasn't really me. And I guess it's lost in translation because I'm so separated from the people I'm being cancelled from. They can't see I'm in danger and I'm in panic mode, and for them, they're hearing like, "Oh, piss off, you God, you're an annoying pest. Go bother somebody else. I don't want any roaches around me." Like they're hearing all this kind of stuff, and for me, it's like I'm someone that's used to looking after my own life, and suddenly I'm in a wheelchair, like they've cut me off from all the social systems. I'm not allowed to do anything in my life, like as an individual. Like I'm completely controlled and dominated. I'm completely dominated, and I've completely got somebody's hand over my life, governing me day by day, which is my worst nightmare. I don't like that. I like to have time to smell the roses and just. I'm quite a peaceful person. I don't mind. That's why I wanted to be really rich, because I wanted my time to just sit by the beach and be at peace and have a really lovely life. And so I just think it is foul play because they've wrecked my skin again. And it's just, you may think that I'm like a lazy fuck, but when you're actually really sick, you can't actually be bothered looking after yourself, like at all. And so that's the irony of it. Is so I've got a wealth library in my head of how to heal myself, but because I'm so sick, I just can't be bothered. Like I'm just so sick. All I want to do, every time I start, I can't. And there's something in my stomach making me sick, and they're saying I can't be healed, and I want actual evidence I can't be healed. Because there's so many things that I wanted to do in my life. I made a bucket list, and I think John and Mary went and did this bucket list, or Jessica, and it was for me. I want this thing pumped out of my stomach. They must be able to do something, like, because it's just a tragedy just to kill me off like that and mutilate my vagina and put dermatology in me, harass me in my tent. I've got videos of them harassing me. There's probably about 11 devices that got stolen I documented everything because I really remembered all the times that they were hurting me. And I'm not saying people can't see the real me. They're seeing me through a distorted lens because of all the hatred and the toilet videos and the TikToks. I think a misconception of why I seem so lazy, but it's not. What's happened is my liver has been shot. I've got a blocked colon, a blocked intestine, which is a real medical issue, and it really needs attention. And I don't know how I'm going to get health care. So maybe if I go on ACC, they would give me health care. But I can prove I know a lot about healing herbs and nutritional care. Like, because I wanted to do all these different things in Australia, I went overboard trying to do all my creative projects, and a lot of it got robbed from me. They robbed me my laptop, which had all of my identity of my photography. I was very, my niche in photography was how the light fell onto nature. And I really started to get a really good eye for it, and I really liked traveling, and that's who Jenny was. Before I first was abused, I was around waterfalls every day, and I spent a lot of time in nature, and I was in love with the sun and the moon. Because if you go at night in Mirrorway, the moon at night over the sea is amazing, and the black sand, it's really, really cool how it all, I don't know. I do like the landscape in Auckland. It's something I'll never forget in my life. Because most people see this place as a city and don't really like the place. But if you actually spent time and you went out to West Auckland and went out all around Titirangi and then you went out to Muriwai to the black sand beaches, and then if you go out a little bit further to south, there's a waterfall out here. I can't remember what it's called. There's a waterfall. It's got a really massive There's so many nature walks, and for some reason I stumbled upon it after I stayed in Mount Albert, and Mount Albert became this house where I did all this healing work on myself, and then I was actually surrounded by this Buddhist couple that were also, they were quite nutritionally smart and had done a lot of healing work themselves in their own different ways, and they were working in childcare, and the landlady was like a head psychiatrist, who was very obsessed about education and her masters and things like this, so very obsessed about obtaining this level of qualification. But when she talked to me, she was teaching me how what happens in nursing is you get to stay in the weekends and you can get $500 a pop. And that's where I started to go towards that direction, because I'm slow. I got taught so slow about money, but I'm so good at looking after people. I like looking after people anyway. I don't mind. It's something I don't mind. Like, I like the company of people, and they won't let me have any, they won't let me go to work, and they sort of keep me looking low quality, and I don't like it, because when I was born I looked very, 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 I look like a quality person, and I'm just saying, well, they spend so much time wrecking me. Since when is it never, they've paid for cancel culture. They've paid to stalk me for all these years. They've paid to wreck all my relationships. They've brutalized my vagina. They've made sure everything that I'm good at a job, they're filling up the country so that I can't do these positions. And they're taking over my car space. But I'm already really established in my work. I believe I am. It's just I spent a little bit of time out on my own healing journey because I wanted to find out some stuff about myself and how I ticked and why I was getting I was getting really extremely sensitive at one stage I couldn't cope with life. I was too sensitive about everything and stressed all the time about the littlest things. And in the end, it turns out it was a big, huge underlying issue that I'd never addressed. And it was, anyway, I don't want to get too much into it. I just want to tell you I've got a lot of knowledge about healing remedies and things that make you healthy. It's just my stomach's blocked, and I'm saying she's keeping me low quality for life insurance, which is a crime against humanity. It's a crime to not let me go to work. It's a crime to not let me live and have peace in my home. It's a crime, all the sexual violence. It's like the book sort of exposing how they were killing me in this mega kind of civil war and this cancel culture. They were just, so there was the Japanese establishing an imperialist business, and the Israel, is it Israel or Iran? I don't know what to call them. Iran, Turkey wanted to establish a business. Turkey, Iraq established a business, and I think they've used music industry and they've got the sex industry. I just really want to establish I was not like that. It's not that I've got no weight and influence. I'm completely trashed. But when I did have weight and influence, I still wasn't about sex. Only with my intimate partner, but not I wasn't going out on the weekend prowling, looking to get drunk and find someone to have sex with. I was staying home, playing on Pinterest and drawing stuff and sitting around talking to my flatmates. That's all I did in Auckland. I didn't go out. And so for them to actually wreck my cells to the point where I'm actually dying, I must be dying because they're saying I can't be fixed. And it's like, well, why doesn't anyone tell me that to my face? Why don't they actually give me a diagnosis so I know what's going on, so I can make some decisions over my life? Because it's like I would like to fix myself and I would like to have my facelift and move on with my life. As I've had my life held back for 7 years, and they've made these alliances of the food in this food regime. They said Russia had a food regime, and they just killed me off. But I do know so much about healing herbs, and that's the irony. As I look so sick, and it doesn't matter if somebody's going to get you with chemicals, does it? It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how strong you are. If there's 20 men coming to kill you and they want to inject you and they want to ruin your vagina and they want to silence you and put you on these cruise ships, and if these Southeast Asian men want to come and rape the death out of you to make sure you don't look holy in front of your friends anymore, there's nothing you can do. I had to go through a period of forgiving myself, because it's very hard for me. I like to be in control of my life, and they've just sort of overtaken me and taken away an honour that I really had very much deserved and worked for. Like, we came from Rowley Ave. I didn't come from Rowley Ave, but they all did. My school did, and I was in Spraydon. It's kind of middle class, and I used to bike a hell of a long way to Horswell Pool just to go and hang out with my friends in the weekend. I've got to Google how many kilometres that is. It was a very long bike ride I used to go to one way and then all the way back home. And I always used to do it with my cousin Nick Tam and my other boyfriend Philip Delore. And it was great. I used to love it. I used to spend my weekend biking all this way and then jumping in the pool all weekend and then getting home and getting my rollerblades on and just playing. I think I was quite an athletic person, but I never really did athletics or anything, but I was very much active, like really into doing stuff, and I was really happy. So I don't know how long I've got to live. They reckon I'm going to die by 50. That's what the guy's gang stalking me on the bus said. He goes, "Oh, I think you'll be dead by 50. They're not going to give you health care." And it's like, why don't I get health care? Like, why am I going through all these taxes? Why did they decide that I have to pay with all of my friends, my honour, my work, everything I've done in my career? Why did I have to pay with all of my family being ruined? Why did these government officials interfere with absolutely all of my friends and family? And I do want to emphasise, I did not have any sex with that John guy when I was fat. I was quite skinny back then. I think I was 56 kgs, and I just had a pouch and it was wobbly. It was not, I've got this hard belly. It's not natural. They've pumped something inside of me. Okay, it's literally blocked. So somebody illegal came into my room and did something to me, starting with tea, and also some Asian guys or something they was doing something to my stomach like wreck her, and I'm not really sure who did all the problems, and apparently they got me in a bathroom. If you saw any videos, that could help me, and any videotapes of me on my bed asleep sick, because I don't know exactly what happened to me. I think somebody's injected me, and some sort of backdoor doctor came and did something bad to me in my sleep, and has given me some sort of keratin problem to make my skin really bad. And I'm tired. I'm tired of being in a prison where they're parasiting off me going to a toilet that's just gone on for years, and it's like, it never gets old. Like, they love shocking people with this video, and it's like, I've never had justice. I've tried for years to get justice. I've been homeless, and it's like, that's why I was begging for a mercy kill, because it was such a load of torture, and it's like, when am I ever going to be free? They never let me have freedom. They never let me have any compensation or money for what I've been through. They keep me in dishonour. They keep me shunned and shamed with all this debauchery videos that I wouldn't ever do in my life. Like, I was way too shy. I even remember Leanne actually telling me to chill out and to calm down, because in a relationship, I was getting really uptight because this person kept going on how hot I was, and I was feeling really uncomfortable by the sexual, like, the person was really sexually charged at me, and I was finding it really, I couldn't handle the energy. I felt really uncomfortable. And she was just trying to tell me, nah, like, you need to chill out. He just finds you attractive. Like, just Like, that's what, like, people are like in boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. I was like, yeah, but this is really weird. Like, it's just a little bit too much. And she was just constantly trying to tell me, like, how to talk dirty back to him and all this kind of stuff. Like, and I was like, like, I felt really uncomfortable. As I'm not used to it. Like, I'm used to kind of like very innocent kind of boyfriend girlfriend things. I've never had, I might have had like a couple of like dirty conversations, but it's never been like that the whole time. Like, there'd be like normal, most of the time was normal, like playing board games and going out walking or fishing or traveling. There were that we had real relationships. So it's weird. So I just want to tell you, like, I don't know, I'll just tell you some of my recipes because I feel like I'm being kind of treated like I'm real trash at everything, and I haven't. I feel like my jobs were kind of good, like quite good food. Like, I kind of want to print. If I am dying, I want to print this out for my grandfather anyway, because he ran a business and he handed down through our family these recipes, and he also used to feed the homeless, and it's kind of run in the family. So yeah, like the kind of food that I came from was like beef and black bean, chicken and vegetables, like stir fried in a bird's nest. So they deep fry the noodles and they put all the food in the noodles, and it's really good. Like, my grandfather used to always send my mother this meal when I was a child, this vegetables in the nest, and I used to always feel like I had a special love with him, because he always sort of would give me this special thing that he would make, and he'd always carve these, like, out of a carrot. He would make these amazing like carvings. Like, it was like he could do a phoenix like on a light rose. Like, that's how good he was at his Chinese heritage stuff. I think our uncle was part of that Wing Chun movement. I think he started opening with that. Anyway, then Peking duck wraps with hoisin sauce. Like, this is the kind of stuff I grew up on. Congee, ginger fish, and that's still one of my favourite dishes. And I'd always make dumplings with my grandmother with chestnuts, pork, ginger, garlic, and spring onions, pork mince. And my home chef kind of cooking was about pork fennel, sausage rolls with cranberry and apples. Then I would be making things like vegetarian shepherd's pie with creamed spinach, satay beef sticks, chicken marbellas, lemon mashed potato, vegetarian stacks, sourdough. She always made this curried dish that was with fish. It was absolutely beautiful. I made it, but she gave me the recipe. It was amazing, this dish. Swedish meatballs, Vietnamese glass noodles with chicken, and it's like a salad. I like this salad. Yeah, so I'm just saying I wouldn't have cancer. This is definitely somebody killed me, because I wouldn't be dying. And all of my tests aren't I got another test that says I'm not HIV positive. So I think they put gel or something up me. I don't know, the salads I always my go-to salads are Greek, garden, carrot, like with poppy seeds, and Asian slaw with peanut sauce, and apple Waldorf. And I'm always cooking raw baking. I just did my favourite cafe food is a medley of mushroom soup and thyme with ciabatta, chicken savouries, harissa carrots and roast vegetable salad, poached eggs with cumin smoked beans. That's cafe stuff. What's the other stuff? The thing is I haven't had a bad life. I don't understand why I'm such a target for all of this, and I've got heavy metal toxicity, which I'm trying to get out of my system. And yeah, my raw baking is like matcha energy balls, cheesecake, chia puddings, lemon almond cake, and flourless orange cake. Oh, slice. Yeah, and I've just all these healing things that I would do for healing. So right now I've got cancer, and I'm not following what I know about cancer because so I get up sick and I don't have anyone to help me. If somebody was here to help me, I could get my health back, but they don't. They leave me alone and isolated, and they're too greedy. They're writing up tablets to make sure I'm not part of society or associated with anyone. But I know a lot of, I could teach a lot about health. It's just I can't practice it right now. I'm that sick. It's like my belly being blocked up like this is causing me so many problems. It's where you produce serotonin, and it's your energy too. So my energy is completely blocked up, and then I've got some sort of inflammation in my brain too. And I think somebody did something to me in that room because I was fine, right? I got to Narita's and I was really run down and tired, but I was still thinking fine, and I was still getting up. I was just I remember being in a lot of fear because of the hatred, but I was still fine. If I was in the house and it was safe, I was fine around the house, going around cleaning up, doing things, pottering around. I just didn't want to go outside because of the hatred of the country, what the country was doing to me, and the hatred online, killing me is fucking ugly. And it's just really sad that this is, I just don't get what is the war? Is the war just about me being ugly, or what? Keeping me ugly, or keeping me from my goals at work by keeping me in such negativity? That's what I don't get. I don't understand how to keep going in a world where kind of it's an unfair situation. And they keep saying it's not racism, but what I read about racism is it's classism is racism, where you're kind of treat So I've got the same skills to go to work and cook and all these kind of things. I've got probably just as much skills as Leanne when it comes to cooking, but I'm still treated like I'm less than her because of this racism. It's just prejudice because they put a lot of propaganda out about me, so people think about me in a bad way. But it's not a very fair situation because my letters all say that I was a very good person. I didn't do anything bad to people that I did. I think I got an aptitude test or something, and it says that I'm a very good person. And all these other churches said that I'm a very good person. So I just don't know why. And right now, if my stomach was undone, I could actually probably get moving really fast. But they just keep me they've also got my identity. I don't have my identity. Okay, ideas for healing. So I know I've got cancer, and so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep low alkaline. I'm going to have roast tomato soups. I'm going to have on crackers, sprouts, avocado smash with tomatoes. I'm going to have apples with peanuts and raisins. I'm going to have raw celery, apples, carrots, and peppers with hummus. And I'm going to have broccoli soup and garlic soup. And my broccoli soup, I'll share it with you, is onions, broccoli, celery, spinach, peas, broth. Yeah, it's 3 liters of broth. And fry off your onions. Put 3 liters of broth on, put your onions in, chop up all the heads of your florets of your 3 heads of broccoli, chuck it in, then put in, I think, 3 stalks of celery, and put in your spinach, a bag of spinach, and boil it up. And when it's cooked and cooled down, put it in a blender and put a dash of cream and a dash of chili, and it's really good. It's really delicious. And yeah, Anyway, I just want to say I really believe this person killing me is making it very biblical, because there's parts of it having a wilted rose. So they've attacked my vagina and made it really abused. There's parts of it about having a stretched genital. There's parts of it about having a bitter heart. There's parts of it about, there's all these weird things that I've been reading in it, and I was like, hang on, isn't that all that I was being persecuted over? And so I'm persecuted out of the village, but I just am opening minds. I don't have anywhere to go. They're blocking me without my choice. They're making me hated as a public spectacle wherever I go. And I'm just saying, I must have been harmed and killed on purpose, because I've never ever been an unhealthy person. Never. Even when I get fat, it doesn't go to my stomach. It goes to my legs and my butt. It never went to my arms and my stomach. It went to my bottom half. So they're kind of taking away things that I've worked on, and they're also leaving me isolated. And I feel like I want one friend. Like, if I'm going through cancer, like, is it that hard to have one friend? Is it that hard to have this blacklist book come down so I can live with people? And it's like, all she's done is made me labour as her man. After I've been abused, they've laboured me in this river that I'm less quality, and put me on all of these films for grace. And then for about 20 years, no, it's about 20 years worth of films in like 5 years. And they're also keeping me subjugated, obstructing justice, and keeping me isolated from all friends and family, and making me hated, and have honour killed me, which is lowering somebody's rank in society. And then they're also keeping my looks looking ugly to keep my quality gross looking, and less quality than her people in Hollywood, that she wanted people to get into Hollywood or something. And then she's also, I've got no one to ask for. They're keeping me in a situation where I can't ask for help. And it's like, well, who am I going to get to help me open doors to do my creative work and print it all off? Like, and why did I get, there's two other things. I got into school and they blocked it, and then people were frauding me. And I think people that wanted to help just got repressed, or like humiliated about who I was, so they just didn't want to say anything anymore. I think that's what happened. And because I just remember Ralph, like, he did, this is just my assumption, but he just basically said, I don't think you should say anything to these people. And I said, but it's not fair what they're doing to me. And he said, I just don't think you should say anything. He goes, I don't think they're very good people, nice people. I think if you say anything, it's just going to get worse. And so that was his, and he sounded scared. So, I mean, I'm not going to be able to get the truth out of him. Like, I can't say, who said that? Why did they say that? He's not going to tell me. So I'm just saying it's not a very fair situation. And it's like they've got all the men in my life to keep me in a place where I'm not going to have any support. And I think this is, what is it called then? If it's not racism, what is it? It's definitely a crime, and it's definitely keeping me isolated from anyone to have fun anymore. They want me to have all this suffering all the time.